A great Saturday night. Yeah, it is Saturday night. Saturday night game. High level on both sides. Physical game. Both teams, play hard. Both teams defend. Ayo is as good as any guard I've seen in a long time attacking downhill. Man, just he's a talented player. And then when you have guys that can make shots, make plays, physical presence around the rim, your margin for error is very slim. And happy, really happy for our guys. And like I said it to them, we've had a stretch here, 20 hours, 20 plus hours on the bus, making adjustments, road games, getting back to class, being on time, not really having a chance to practice, different type of teams. And they've been resilient. They've shown a tremendous amount of grit and fight, and I'm happy for them.
All right, we'll go to questions. First up, Vahe.
Hey, Cuonzo, congratulations.
Thank you.
It seems like you'll probably be ranked after this game, but I wonder if that matters as much as just you seeing what this team is becoming right before your eyes.
It doesn't matter to me. I think it might matter to our fans, and I think it matters to the extent to our players, just from the standpoint they're recognized for their work. Because if we're not ranked, then all of it is foolishness anyway. So what's the point in having it? Because that means you're telling me there are 25 teams that are better than us. We've beat 2 ranked teams. How many teams in America can say they beat 2 ranked teams? How many teams in America can say they won true road games? It's all phony to me at the end of the day. I don't know why you rank teams anyway until after maybe December. That's all that buddy behind the scenes stuff, and I've never been a fan of it because I don't cut no side deals and I don't have those type relationships. So I don't worry about it because I know what it is, and I could care less, but I know it means something to our players.
Dave Matter.
Just to follow up real quick, I'd only add, what is it you see that is pleasing you so much with this team?
Oh, they're tough. They're basketball players. They value each other. They respect. They've learned as they've grown. They've took some lumps. Now we've taken our share of lumps with injuries, tough losses, and all that. We've taken our lumps, and so now that they understand it's something bigger than a basketball game. Of course, they want to win and want to be successful. Some have aspirations of being an NBA player, but they know there are bigger things in life, and these past 8 weeks has shown us the value of life and living. So I'm happy for them. But they've really grown from young men to men.
Now we'll go to Dave Matter.
Cuonzo, that last possession that Illinois had, when they had about 10 seconds left, how did you want to play that? What would you expect them to do there, and would you see how your guys defended it?
Well, what we were going to do, if Drew would have made both free throws, we were going to go to a 1-3-1. That's not something we normally do, just to get them off balance and not give up a 3. They get a 2, they get a 2, but not let them flow into anything. But then when he made the free throws, we had too many guys with 4 or 5. We didn't want to cause anything tricky. Just sit down and defend. And we just said, if they turn the corner and get a 2, you give up a 2. We'll take our chances. If Kofi get the ball in the interior, let him score the ball, don't foul, because we still have the lead. And that's how we looked at it.
Eric Blum.
Coach, were you given an explanation on the Kofi Coburn flagrant foul, why that basket stood, if that was a foul there? What was your communication like with the refs at that point in time?
I didn't, and part of that is my fault because I was so emotional about what happened with Mitch. I didn't realize they counted the basket until Drew Smith was shooting free throws. I didn't realize it until then, and I looked up. I said, man, I thought we were up 4. And they said they counted the basket. So, no, I didn't, but I would certainly get a call to get some information on it. I mean, I will make a call.
Sawuchi?
Cuonzo, what does Drew Smith mean to this team? Plays 39 minutes, leads you in scoring. Guarded Ayo for quite a few possessions.
He's a fighter. He's a tough kid. He's a fighter. He competes. He's very intelligent as a basketball player. He had a very tough assignment. Again, Ayo had 36. I'm not sure if half of those on Drew, but they did a good job on their ball screen switching, so he matched up with different guys to get downhill. And he's a talented player. Watching film, we knew the margin for error was very slim. I'm quite sure they felt the same way. And you got to give up some. When you're talking top 5 in 10 teams, it's a reason why they're that. And you're talking about an elite guard that gets downhill. Anytime you can get down the hill, the way the game's officiated nowadays, that's a major weapon on your team.
CJ Moore?
Hey, Cuonzo, how did you think your pace was tonight? And going back to the offseason when you made the decision to play a little bit faster, how much influence do you think that's had on you guys?
I thought it was good. I thought we early, for some reason, we weren't pushing as fast and getting up and down the floor. So we did it in spurts. We didn't flow it like we needed to, but they were making baskets. They were making baskets. I didn't think we defended great at all. I thought we played hard, but I didn't think we defended great. And they did a great job, especially Cabello, turning the corner in those ball screens. And we did a better job embracing that challenge with him. But like I told the guy, he's a talented basketball player. He's a guy that's really a starter. He can make plays. He's shifty. He can read defense, and he'll be an elite guard when it's all said and done.
Mitchell?
Cuonzo, you talked about Drew Smith having a tough assignment, obviously, on IO. Just what gave you the confidence to stick with him down the stretch, in man on IO?
Oh, we're trying to win. That's simple. So it would have been either he or Mark, whichever one, but Mark fouled out. But it was going to be one of those guys with that assignment.
Colin?
Hey, Coach Martin, I know you say you always like your chances in these games when you win the rebounding battle, and you did tonight. Just what did you think of the way you guys were fighting on the boards and kind of using that to set the tone throughout the rest of the game for the other parts of the game?
Well, the biggest thing we said to our guys, the team that wins the rebound battle, and again, of course there are other things that you have to do to win, but we said the team that wins the rebound battle will probably win the game. And I thought our guards did a great job blocking out, being physical. I thought Mitch, again, giving up 50 pounds maybe, blocking out Kofi, which is not an easy assignment, and was really impressed with Mitch. I mean, I thought he played a tremendous game. We knew we had to control the glass.
Jack Sobel?
Cuonzo, a couple games ago, you mentioned not being completely happy with Kobe Brown's play. I think this game he led you guys in three-point shooting. He hit 2 shots. He had 12 points, 8 boards. What do you think of the way he played tonight?
Thought he was solid. I didn't think he was great. I thought he was solid. I don't say it to be bad. I thought he was aggressive. That's what I liked about him. And I think he was more aggressive. I think he has to get better, especially when he had Kofi on him, taking advantage of that matchup, taking him off the dribble. I thought he settled for a 3 early because Kobe's good off the bounce. You got a big guy like that on, he can make plays. So I thought he was solid offensively. He has to get better on the defensive side of the ball.
Joel?
Hey, Coach. During that time, for much of the game, Tilly was in foul trouble. He even fouled out later in that game. But you tried different things and experimented while he was absent with trying to guard Kofi. What was your thought process between you trying to play small ball and you putting Parker out there and then even Wilmore out there?
Well, I was going into the game with Jordan Wilmore playing. I felt like more so Jordan on Kofi than Parker, just because of the physical stature. I knew Mitch could handle that assignment because his experience, his positioning, his feet, and those sorts of things. And we just felt like, man, we didn't do a great job of taking advantage of him when we were on offense. He was guarding some of our smaller guys. We didn't do a good job with that, and we have to get better with that. But I thought our guys were solid. I was happy with Mitch on him for sure. And Jordan, again, that's a tough game for Jordan to be in and not played in other games to get reps. That's a very tough game, at a high-level game against a physical, low-post guy who's already in heavy rotation. That's not easy.
Dave Matter?
Cuonzo, I know you don't get caught up in who scores the points, but if you knew that Mark was going to kind of struggle and you weren't going to get much from Jeremiah, would you have thought you had a chance tonight, the way Mark has been scoring?
No question. You look at Mark's last 2 games against Illinois. So I wouldn't say it out loud and the game's over now. I would have felt like that just because of the emotion and energies in which he tried to operate in a game like that. It's not easy. Now, if he'd have played great. But I just think we have enough. We're good enough now, and I've said it before. When you got guys that can come off the bench and help you, and I still think we got ways to go on our bench. There's another step for Jordan Wilmer. We got to get Torrance in heavy rotation. So we still have other guys. Parker has more to give. So we still got ways to go.
Eric Blum?
Coach, I think one of the more interesting things to come out of last year was when Javon scored 10 points. I think you guys won 9 games and only lost once. For him to get 10 early tonight, what does that mean to your team, and how does that open up either your offense or your defense for him to score that much early on?
Well, it's great because, again, he's a physical guy. When you got guys 6'3" and smaller on Javon, I mean, that's a tough matchup because he's so physical. He's going to put pressure on you. Now, the advantage maybe if the guy that's defending him, if he's on the offense side, he's quicker, then that's different. But, man, he puts so much pressure. He knows how to cut. He cuts to the basket. He makes plays, and he puts pressure on your defense because he's always moving. He's a great cutter.
Mitchell?
Cuonzo, you've alluded already tonight a little bit to the fact that, you think there are still things your team can do better. I guess, how much better do you feel like this team can be, and what does it say that you're able to win games like this in the Oregon game without maybe playing your best game?
I mean, first of all, you have 18 turnovers. You have 18 turnovers, and you score 81 points, so you can get better there. We were careless with the ball in some areas. And we'll get that corrected, but that's too many turnovers. I thought we were standing in the first half, starting the game. We were standing around one-on-one, very similar to Liberty. We can't do that. Can't get off to those slow starts like that. We got to flow into it. We got to do what we do in practice and let it carry over. But again, my thing, like I say to our guys, let's get one more point and we're good to go. I don't care how we can deal with all other stuff later, but let's try to get one more point than our opponent.
Vahe?
Cuonzo, it seemed like from up here, the intensity of this game was what you might expect of any Illinois-Missouri game. I'm curious if you felt like it translated like that despite the difference in atmosphere, and just also what it means to win this game a third year in a row, the emotions of this game.
That's big to win it 3 years in a row because it's not easy, and it's a very talented team. And I say this jokingly, but it was a boxing match in a basketball game broke out, just because it was a physical game. But we expect that. But I think the officials understand that. Outside of the elbow to Mitch, I think it's a high-level game, and you have to have high-level officials, and they have to do the best job they can, which is not an easy job when you have two teams that play physical in the way we play.
Ben Frederickson?
Cuonzo, we asked you about would you thought you won if Mark would have had a quiet night, but if we told you Io was going to go for 30-plus and along with Kofi going 19, does this speak to what the team did as a team to overcome individual performances like that from their best players?
Oh, no question. And again, like I said to our guys the night before the game, I said, when you're talking top 5 and 10 teams, there's a reason why they're that. They have something. They have person. They have talent. So you will have to fight to win the basketball game. And then you're also talking about 2 guys you just named, and I want to be respectful. I don't want to push those guys out before their time. But I think both of those guys will play at the highest level when it's all said and done, whenever they decide to leave college. So, those are high-level basketball players. And that's what it is. When you're at this level, and again, you get to 5 and 10 in the country, it's a reason why.
Mason?
Cuonzo, after some games got away from this team last year just because of some free throw shooting difficulties, how proud are you of this bunch for shooting 26 of 31 on free throws, especially in a big game environment like this?
I'm happy for them, but they work on them. You have good free throw shooters, and you expect most of these guys to make their free throws. Kobe missed those last 2. That can't happen. You got to finish the game, but for the most part, we spend enough time working on them, and that's just simply concentration for the most part. Now, some guys, they struggle with it, and they got to spend extra time, but it's good because you're going to win games different ways. More three-point shots, more two-point baskets. We go into a game plan with the best scouting report that gives us the best chance to win the game. And what we felt like in this particular game, the team that did the best job rebounding had the best chance to win.
We're going to get 3 more for Coach. Ben Fred?
Oh, I apologize. My hand should have been down there. My bad. I'm done. I'm good. Thanks.
Okay. Dave Matter?
Sorry.
Good. Vahe?
Same here. It just stuck. The ball just stuck.
Cuonzo, I'm just curious, when you have those wins, the 2 ranked ones, the 2 road ones, what does that do for the rest of the season and just kind of feeling like this team is ready and kind of maybe just a little bit more battle tested?
It just means we got another game to be prepared. Anything can happen, man. You go into league play, you lose a key guy, injuries. It's so much stuff that goes into it. You just got to make sure you're as healthy as possible, doing the right things, preparing to win basketball games, and just staying together. But we've had our share of differences and different type of losses in games and down the stretch losses, games getting away from. We've seen it all. It's just a matter of finding ways to win games, keeping our composure, and we certainly know games are 40 minutes, and we have to play them till they're over.
Last one for Coach. Going to go to Eric Blum.
Cuonzo, just talking about tonight, do you consider this win to be the biggest you've had as the head coach at Missouri?
Not at all. No, I mean, you might sit down. Is it the highest ranked team we beat since I've been here? You can say that, but no, it's basketball. It's a talented team. It's a long ways. I mean, maybe you guys can make that decision. No, because we have personnel now. That was a game I think maybe last year or the year before we won, and we had less personnel due to injuries, and you win those type of games. But this one we're good enough. It's just on the surface, it's easy not to say Mizzou is a good team, I'm assuming. And I'll just pick this because it's comfortable. I'll pick this team because it's comfortable, and I'm always picking these guys because it's easy instead of me doing my work and being diligent about it. So, no, I don't worry about all that.
Coach, congratulations on the win.
Thank you.
All right. Next up is going to be Javon.